we talk about the lethality of 5.56 in a combat situation, you know, it's just under 300 yards just to the road. And then the other side of the road, and then you've got that big parking lot, and then you've got that warehouse, and then. So, you know, you got those guys on those back alleys, because there was that little reserve base that was over there, the ACDC camp or some shit. That's 750 yards.
Oh, yeah. I was pushing out that far, trying to.
But they got guys back there with PKs that are just, you know, bop. So
there's a guy in a video and that you can see he's wearing a white shirt running across the street, and I hit him at 720 is what we calculated it at. And he went down. He stayed there the rest of the day, so I imagine he wasn't sleeping. But there was another guy, speaking of lethality, it's like if you hit him in the head, because there's a French documentary. Did I show you that video?
Yeah.
The guy with the RPG. He tried to come up and shoot at us, and then I remember his head popping up over that. And I smashed him right in the head. He went down because I saw the video 10 years later, and I was like, well, okay, that guy, he's dead. But there was another guy that was running at us, and Mookie's like, hey, guy next to the blue Mercedes, which we had mapped out like a range card because I didn't know what the fuck was what. And this guy runs out, and I shoot him. He falls face, dirt dives, and as fast as he dirt dived into the ground, like his face must have ground into the road, gets up and keeps running. And so I remember hitting him again, and I remember Mookie shooting at him. I think Eric was shooting at him as well, but he was about 300 meters out. He hits the ground again, rolls over, and then lays there, but then sits up, turns over on hands and knees, starts crawling, and we're running Mark 2.62 77 grain ammo.
Yeah.
I was. And I send one right up his ass. He flattens out, and then he crawls and then turns over on his back, and I think that was my sixth shot, and then he sits up and then shot him again. And it was like, damn. So it's like you never know what you're going to get out of these weapons.
I would just make the argument that if you would have had that
308,
308
yeah.
G3.
Well, a lot of people ask me that. They said, wouldn't you rather have a bolt gun or something? Like, yeah, but we'd probably run out of ammo. Because at least we could carry a lot of ammo. Because I shot about 800. I shot about 800 rounds.
Yeah, when I was on the phone with Eric, you know, and so I think I told you this. So those guns that we had were those Bushmasters.
Yeah, that's what I was running.
Yeah, those are a 1 in 9. And when you run the 77 grain, because you need
a 1 in 7.
You need a 1 in 7.
And that's what my barrel was a 1 in 7.
Because your gun was different.
20-inch.
Yeah. Our guns weren't. So here I am on the phone, Eric, and, you know, hey, tell me about that, you know, Black Hills 7, because back then it was still the Black Hills 77. No one had really heard of it. It was, you know, 04, early 04. So this is new, shiny.
It was the magic bullet, and everybody thought it was great, but it's like, look at your barrel twist, guys.
Well,
and not many people.
They didn't have anybody back there who was a bullet head.
Exactly.
All they needed was a guy from an armory. It didn't have to be, it could have been from Pendleton or the teams or whatever that knew, you know, what we're talking about. So I said, well, Eric, I said, I don't buy your guns and I don't buy your bullets, but I said, those bullets that you bought don't work in the guns you bought. And I explained to him barrel twist. And I said, so we're shooting a 9 to 12 inch group at 300 yards with a red dot. I said, the red dot's as big as a human at 300 yards. And he says, well, tell me what we need. I said, here's a quote, and I don't know if anybody's ever going to remember this one. When I first went over there on that convoy security team, they had 4 national match M14 sitting in the gun locker. I said, I'd like, and he goes, no. I said, just give me 2 of them. I said, just give me 2 and a ton of ammo. No. Those are special. They're national match or this. I said, no, they're just good M14s. And I know that rifle pretty well. No. So I said to Eric, I said, well, if you would have given me 2 of those M14s that I asked for 3.5 months ago, I said, you'd still be stacking them up like cordwood. Yep. He says, so 308, I said, 7.62 by 51 NATO. Thank you very much. And I said, I don't care if it's an M14, an SR25, an FNFAL, whatever it is, G3. And then you guys flew down a couple days later with that G3. And I put a scope on it, and that was my gun for the rest of the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I never got to blast anybody with it. So, you know, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
But no, what I was most proud of is just that I got everybody out of there. And that was the big thing.